short tutorial on Scootle. And Scootle, of course, is the online repository of lots of fantastic digital learning materials that teachers can use to add some of that authentic digital experience for students in their learning time. So, how do you get into Scootle, and where is it? So let's have a look now at the website, and first of all, let's have a look at the URL, which is the web link. And I've already got that here in black, so it's scootle.edu.au. So that's all you need to type into your browser, just that section there that's in black, not the grey section. The grey section will fill in automatically, okay? Once you're here, you do need to log in. This is not open to the general public. You do need to have an account. Now, so when you hit the login button at the top right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to be presented with two options. Either you're going to use your username and password of an account that you've already created, or you're going to use your department identity. Now, for me, I'm a member of the New South Wales Department of Education and Communities. So when I left-click on the logo, it actually takes me to a standard login portal page for the Education Department. So I'm going to enter my details and hit enter. It then sends me back to Scootle, and I can notice at the top of my screen, it's now got me logged in with my identity. And what that means is I can save my favorites, for example, and I can do things like build my specific learning pathways, okay, which we're going to have a look at as well. Alrighty, so as I mentioned before, I want to have a look specifically at using the filter functionality as I'm searching for content. I'm going to start over here, find by Australian curriculum. I could use this search box here and just type in my topic and do a random search and see what comes up. But I've got something specific in mind that I want to try and accomplish. And instead of doing a random search of the 30-odd thousand bits and pieces that are in there, I want to refine my search so I don't get lost with things that I don't need. So I'm going to start with Australian curriculum, and I'm going to have a look at English as my topic. That's the subject area that I want to create this activity for. And I get some options here now to continue to refine my search. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and have a bit of a better look. Okay. To start with, I don't need to have all the year levels because it's only a year 7 group that I'm going to be working with. So to untick all these boxes at once, I'm simply going to left click at all levels, and it removes all those ticks at once. I'm also going to untick all of the general capabilities because I don't actually want an activity that does everything. I just want to focus on something. And the cross-curriculum priorities, I'm actually going to untick all of those. So that's my starting point. And now I'm going to begin to choose the things that I really want. It's a year 7 group that I'm thinking about. So I want content and materials relevant to year 7s. Under general capabilities, I would like to create an activity that encourages the critical and creative thinking component of the credit, and that's the only one of those general capabilities. I'm actually not looking for anything right now under the cross-curriculum priorities, so I'm going to leave them blank. Okay. Once I've done that, I'm going to apply the filter. Anytime that you make a change to your filter priorities, you have to hit the apply filter button again. Okay, so you'll notice that filter button there, and also you'll notice it at the bottom of this. So it gives you lots of opportunity then to reapply the filter. Okay, all right. So I've done that. I've applied the filter. Oops, for some reason it's ticked those boxes again for me. Apply the filter again just to make sure I only get what I want. Year 7's critical and creative thinking, and it's put those ticks back. I think this is a little bug inside Scootle. Alrighty. So it's only giving me the year 7 content descriptions now. You'll notice that before it gave me all the content descriptions. Now it's only giving me year 7s. I'm particularly interested in text structure and organization, so I'm going to click on that. And I know that these are the only outcomes that meet my filtered criteria. So that's good. Understand and explain how text structures and language features. All right. Now, under this link, view elaborations and matching resources, this is where I'm going to find the resources that match my filter. Okay. All right, so this is now a new page. I'm now looking at the actual content inside Scootle. All right, and you'll notice on the left, again, I've got more options to further refine my results. Now, this is a good idea because remember, there are like 30,000 odd bits and pieces out there, and to not get lost, it's good to know what you're looking for. I've been told that my search results have got 145 objects. Still too much for me to look at. I'm actually only interested in video. So again, I'm going to untick the all box. I'm not looking for a photograph or audio, or I'm not looking for a collection. I'm not looking for someone else's teacher resources or an assessment task. I actually would like a video object because I want to be able to give students something to look at before they come to class. And a video object is perfect for that. It gives them some content to look at for homework. That's simple to do. It means that most of my students will actually do it. So when they come to class, we're going to have something to talk through. All right. And under video objects, I can see that I've now, once again, because I've put the tick there, I need to submit the query button, which is exactly the same as apply filter. So I don't know why my Scootle has done that. Okay. Now I've only got 24 results. And you know, 24 is a much more manageable number to look through when you're looking through resources. Okay, let's have a look at the first one. The art of persuasive writing during the work. Actually, this sounds like something I really want to have a look at. I want to save this. And I'm going to save it by putting a tick in my box. And I actually am going to add this to a learning path. All right, so I'm going to add it to a learning path. This is where I can now create a series of objects that I want students to access. And I can actually give students a code and they can then work through this series of objects. So I'm going to create this as a learning path. That's what it's called. I'm going to give it a new name. And I'm just going to give the folder a name called Writing. And I'm going to save it in that folder. So now it's saving it in the Writing folder. I'm just going to call it a video for now. I'm not going to add any description. You can do that later on, of course, if you want to. Now I can choose whether this is a learning path or a collaborative activity. We might explore collaborative activities another time, but today we're just going to add it to a learning path. So I'm going to add it to my learning path. Done. Successful. So where do I find these learning paths? And hang on, I haven't even watched the video. I don't even know if I want to save this content. It's fine. I can save as much content as I like without running into trouble. Okay, 2 ways to share this with students. Method number 1, simply give students that PIN number, okay? So, and when a student comes to Scootle, all they have to do is put that into the web page and the resource you've saved is going to appear. The second way to share it is to give them this link. So if you're using something like Moodle, Edmodo, perhaps you're working with senior students and you're using Twitter to communicate, or Facebook, or just good old email. So that link right here, that link is also another way that you can share that resource. Okay, so I saved it to a learning path. Okay, so when I come to Scootle, if I click on learning paths, there it is in the top menu. Then on my left-hand side, I can actually see that I've begun to build some folders and put those resources in those folders. And I can have as many folders as I like in that, okay? I can create a new folder right off the bat here. Now remember I saved it into the writing folder. If I left click on the writing folder, there's the particular resource. Remember I just called it video. not a really very good description, but I just called a video. So if I left click on that, it takes me back to that object. Alrighty. Now the reason I didn't look at it yet is because this is another funny thing about Scootle. If I click on this, it actually takes me away from Scootle. And I'm now on the page of where the resource is. And I can actually now have a look at the resource, and I can decide whether this is something that I want to use with my students, whether it's something I want to keep saved or not. And I do want to keep this because I've watched this video and it's quite good. So, alrighty. So there you go. I hope that's been a little bit helpful. Remember, feel free to rewind the video, go back to the start if you want to familiarize yourself with the steps again. All the best.